Welcome to another edition of Wednesday Night is Overbooked, episode 96. 96. Holy crap. Four episodes away from 100 of these things. Holy crap and holy. Who ever thought? I'm your host, the Joker's Boys, here with my lovely panel of intelligent, well-maintained individuals. And we'll start with my stage right. He is muted at the moment. He's got a mouthful of sriracha. It is the talented, the amazing Left Eye Iyo. Iyo, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great. We'll see how I do after an hour of the sriracha. But I'm excited to talk some wrestling.
Well, it tastes great. It's great going in, not so great going out. I'm just saying. And directly beneath him is the man who tortures himself weekly with horrible Star Trek, the affront of entertainment. That is the Duke Devil 95, Bradley Burnett. How are you, sir?
Also living the hot sauce high life right now, since I had a bunch of hot salsa with my Mexican food and hot sauce. So it's going to be regretful later on, probably.
Nice. And you mentioned high life, which is a great way to wash down just about anything. It is the champagne of beers. The champagne of beers. You be quiet, sir. It's awesome.
Scotch.
And directly beneath me is the invading external Terminator, hailing from parts unknown. It is Matt, the Unbearable 73. How are you, sir?
Doing pretty good tonight. Good mood, talk some wrestling, get out our systems.
Is that what we do here? We talk some wrestling?
Wait, we're not talking wrestling?
we're talking some wrestling here, as we are definitely on the road to WrestleMania. Maybe a little bumpy at first. We'll get into that, but we have got some stuff to let you know about. We all have YouTube channels. We all would like your eyes, your subscriptions, your viewing hours, your likes. All of that information is down below in the description, along with the man who is responsible for that wonderful opening montage music. That is Dempsey the Drunk Poet. So if you don't mind, folks,
I'd say you better subscribe or we'll bash in some skulls, right?
And we have a goal for every show, double-digit likes. We've fallen short a few times last couple of weeks. Let your friends know. Bring them on over. Have them watch the show. Make sure they like the show as well, so we can get those wonderful little extra segments just for you guys, because this is why we do this, for you, the fans. So we have some updates. First off, in the injury and legal world, Brad, I sent you something about the Janelle Grant lawsuit. Apparently, from what I understood, I didn't go into it fully. She got dealt a legal blow. Is this?
It's not as significant as you think, because this is very much procedural.
Okay.
Let me just hold on. Let me grab my notes here. Basically, what she's trying to do is push this more towards a public lawsuit. Janelle Grant, of course, has a non-disclosure agreement with the WWE. What the WWE is asserting is that, according to the terms of that agreement, they should go to binding arbitration, which means it goes to a private arbitrator. This is generally preferred by courts, so that it avoids litigation costs and everything. So that's what they want to do. She was pushing to say, no, we need to do discovery. Discovery is investigating the case and such. Now, there's a couple things going on here. First off, the court still has not ruled whether or not it goes to arbitration. I don't know what they're waiting on. But what the judge said is, you're not allowed to do early discovery, which means if the court decides to go to arbitration, she will have to go forward on the evidence she has, which means any statement she's already collected on her own, any of her own testimony, any testimony she knows from other people who would go in and speak on her behalf. The whole purpose of discovery is to do depositions, to get documents and everything from other people. But the way the procedure works is the courts favor resolving before having to go down the whole legal process. and federal court is particularly procedurally oriented. So my state is adopting more of that, so I'm becoming more familiar with it. This is sadly, it's not that exciting. It is a blow in the sense of she's not allowed to take depositions or anything, but it's not a final ruling. The court could come back and she could file again for a motion and say, since it was denied without prejudice, it's not a final decision by the court. So she could come back and say, hey, wait, I have another reason, and they can consider it again. But really what they need to decide is, are you going to arbitration or not? Because that's really what pushes us forward. If it goes to arbitration, we're not seeing any of this because it's binding arbitration.
Gotcha. So it's a setback, but it's a minor setback. So when some folks are saying she got dealt a legal blow, it's a little more hyperbole. Yeah.
Gotcha. This is not. It's not a biggie. It's not like you can't bring in all these witnesses. This is proceeding normally, but got to get them clicks. But that's the legal process. It's slow and boring. That's what I get paid for.
Which a lot of channels, they will play armchair lawyer. We actually have an actual lawyer who knows
sitting in
stuff.
an armchair.
Yes,
sitting in an armchair.
Well, Brad, I got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when
hang on.
So when they say that it's dealt her a blow, my first thought was Vince's side is trying to essentially delay this case till Vince dies, in which case he doesn't have to testify for anything because we can't call a dead guy at the stand.
Well,
and then she can't contradict him with other evidence and gain points in our case, so to speak.
That may be their underlying thought, but the bottom line is what they're asserting is a non-disclosure agreement has binding power. Now, what she's arguing is, no, it doesn't, because I was coerced into signing it. So that's part of her argument. It's like, no, arbitration should not apply because you're relying on the non-disclosure agreement.
Yeah.
But if they're saying, if the dispute is, look, we can't get anywhere because you want to talk about stuff in the NDA. You can't talk about stuff in the NDA because if you do, that triggers the arbitration clause. So that's what it is. Maybe they do on their side think, hey, Vince Williams has to testify, but then if Vince doesn't testify, who's there to contradict her?
Right. Exactly.
Right.
And in the end, it just goes after his estate.
From what you've seen, what typically happens in cases like this? Like, what is more likely to happen?
I do know the courts favor some sort of arbitration or mediation. In what I do personally, we are all required to go to mediation, and most of the cases I have resolved them. I'd say 90 to 95% of my cases resolve at mediation, which is the parties agreeing on a settlement. This being arbitration just think of it like as a mock trial. They present their side to an arbitrator, a designated arbitrator, and that person acts as a judge. So that person comes back and says, okay, based on what I've seen, this is my ruling. Now, it's binding, which means it's, that's the decision.
Correct.
Are there ways to potentially challenge it? Possibly. I've never been in that situation, but the legal profession allows everything to be challenged because that's how we make money.
Gotcha. All right. And
my ghost is here.
Hi.
Oh, and then another update we've had. Injuries for some reason are happening at the worst possible time in the WWE. Braun Breaker, who seemingly was on a hot streak, seems to have stalled out a little bit. Had something happen at the worst possible time, and where some people like to play doctor. That's taking a whole other context here. We have someone with a medical degree on our panel here that I asked to kind of go into this and give us a overview of what we can expect, how serious this injury is, and what's the best case scenario time of recovery. So, Iyo, please, the floor is yours.
All right. So that's don't have a medical degree. It's a clinical doctorate in audiology, which is basically for ears, so hearing imbalance disorders. But I've taken 10 years worth of anatomy and physiology courses. So I can give you my best estimate based on what they're telling me everything is going on. So I can show you this with like 3 pieces of paper. All right. So in the front is basically called your peritoneum. It's basically just a sheet in front of your belly that just basically holds in all your organs. It's a protective barrier. You strip that back, you've got, which would be the fat layer, which also helps insulate your organs. And below that, you've got your basically your abdominal muscles, right? So,
Question.
yeah, go ahead.
Did your unborn child draw this for you?
I'm trying to make it simple. So I said, what would my child, how would this be working for him? All right.
Good
And
save,
he
sir.
said,
Good
yeah,
save.
that's how it works. There we go.
Good save.
All right.
I like that.
I'm trying to be simple. So basically, if I represent this pen, pen represents your intestines. So if you've got a weak abdominal wall or there's a tear in the abdominis, what can happen is your intestines can come straight through. This isn't good because number one, it's not where it's supposed to be. And number two, this can actually choke off. You can wind up losing you can wind up losing blood supply and kind of lose part of your colon. So the job for a doctor is to go in and kind of push that intestine back in place. And they're supposed to put a mesh covering over that. And then once they put your peritoneum back over top of that, it's supposed to kind of hold everything in place. So the best guesstimate of the type of procedure they're going to do is laparoscopic. Basically, they make a small incision in your navel, go in there with an endoscope, and kind of inflate your stomach a little bit with carbon dioxide so they can see where everything is. They kind of push down and push the intestine back into where it's supposed to be. And they put that mesh sheet over top of everything to hold everything in. That's usually the quickest and easiest one to do because it's not like they're going to cut you open and basically your insides are exposed to the outside. And the cut is minimal, so there isn't a lot of scarring. Best guesstimate is earliest time for him being available is 4 weeks. Latest is 6 weeks. I mean, with these absolute freaks of nature when it comes to their athletics, their muscles, and how quickly they heal, it might be a little bit less. It doesn't sound, I mean, they said it was a surgery that had to be done immediately, but I didn't necessarily hear it as emergency surgery. So it doesn't sound like it was as bad as it could have been. So my guess it's 4 to 6 weeks. So I mean, he could be in time for Mania at this rate.
Okay, because I had heard that it was slightly nagging, a slightly nagging condition, and then 2 weeks ago when he decided to flip the table, he aggravated it.
Yeah, I'm thinking he probably herniated more of his intestine through an already small hernia. Like I said, I don't know where it was, and depending on where it was, can tell you where the severity of it was too. But if it was nagging, it could have been a small one. But when you exert that much pressure, you exert pressure in your own abdominis, and so when you do that, it could push it right through. So, it just was like a bad situation that got made worse.
The good thing though is like hernia is actually a very treatable thing. It's very common, is what I understand. It happens to people. Yeah, people just randomly happen to it. I mean, this guy's, ripping his body apart every day. So, I mean,
right, yeah. And so, I mean, the main thing they were saying is that it's like they're not having. It doesn't sound like they have to cut him open and risk his like getting infection because he's outsides or insides are exposed to the outside. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that's the main thing is they can go in there with scopes and machines in there and not have to risk further infection. From what I understand,
because from what I'm hearing, the match that they want is they're expecting Seth Rollins to be back in time for Mania, which I'm
isn't he already back?
Well, we don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, kayfabe, he's supposed to be back, but for Seth Rollins to be physically back, ready for Mania, which I think is quite a gamble that you're putting that on, is Seth and Braun. So, assuming everything is in the best case scenario, is that match possible? Ego.
I think it'll be. They say like you can about 4 to 6 weeks. You can go back to like heavy lifting. They're saying like after 2 weeks you can do light movements and possibly swim. So my guess is if you want to push it and say 6 weeks to make sure he's absolutely good to go, I don't see why not, based on the way they're giving the timetable.
So basically, like end of March. Basically.
Yeah. So even if it's not WrestleMania night 1, it could be night 2 if they want to do due diligence and make sure that they get an extra day to heal. But I mean, I think with the time off and kind of, I guess, just general rehabbing things and ramping up activity, and he doesn't have to do anything in the meantime.
Well,
it could work.
Well, I'm sure his time resting at home. I'm sure he's just going to have to keep Izzy Dame off of him because that's just saying.
It's going to be a very difficult task.
So that is a couple updates that we've got from injuries and legal stuff. But this is a topic that was brought up last week as AEW was in Las Vegas at the Pearl Theater last week. And this caught a lot of attention. Politics and the IWC, the media. Now, this came about. This was a match. I believe this was the main event. This was Brody King versus MJF. Now, Brody King is an outspoken detractor, I guess is the best word, of the current administration, which at a Grand Slam event in Mexico City, he famously wore an Abolish ICE shirt to the ring. Tony Khan allowed him to sell those, to make money selling those shirts at live events, because Tony Khan basically lets his guys and gals do whatever they want. Now, at the event itself, there was a very, very loud, audible chant, "Fuck ICE, fuck ICE, fuck ICE." This is not about what the fans are saying. The fans are saying the fans are paying money to go see a show. They can say whatever the hell they want. Don't care. But this culture that is being cultivated here and what's come out of it from the IWC, the media part, the commentator space. There's a couple of the commentators, I'm not going to name names, but they have very prominent channels. And they went right along with, I agree, F ICE, blah, 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 abolish ICE, all day long. And these channels are known for being very favorable to AEW. Now, there's probably reasons why they think if they're going to get enough of if they glaze Tony Khan enough, they may get a job like Will Washington did. And again, we are uniquely qualified because we've dealt with this for years in the genre space, the critique space, the pop culture space here on YouTube. So I guess my question is, Matt, I'll start with you because your take first was what kind of sparked this whole thing.
So like you, JV, the audience can say what they want. They pay the ticket, they can chant what they want. I have no problem with that, even if I disagree with the chant. Okay. And if Brody King were on his personal X or Twitter or Instagram account doing this, I would agree with it. Blue Sky. Fail skies. I would have no problem with that either.
No.
Okay. And funny enough, this sounds strange. I have all of this. If they were doing a storyline where one was an ice guy and whatever, it might be in bad taste, but wrestling has done these sort of storylines before. That is not what happened. What happened is they deliberately put into the broke kayfabe essentially with a real world event. And, I could watch entertainers who I know disagree with me entertain, right? Yes. But I'm not going to be lectured to by by another human being that I should just agree with their political position because I'm watching them wrestling. Go to hell. You know what? You don't want me to watch. As of this point, I will no longer patronize AEW directly. I won't watch their stuff. I won't buy their product. I will follow them through news sources. So I can talk about them, and hopefully somebody, Tony Khan or a future owner of AEW, will fix it. But it's just ridiculous, and time and time again, they tell us they don't want our money, so we just go elsewhere. I mean, that it's going to be proven. AEW, they had a ratings uptick. Now that ratings uptick is going to go on the downtick because a lot of people like me aren't going to watch it anymore.
All right. So, Brad, Michael Jordan famously said, "Republicans."
It's apocryphal.
What?
That's kind of apocryphal, that statement. I know what you're saying. Republicans buy shoes too, correct?
Correct.
That's kind of apocryphal and may or may not have happened, but it is attributed to him.
Okay, so it's attributed to Michael Jordan.
Correct.
Is this should Tony Khan get out in front of this, which he's kind of created a culture now, which might be tough for him to reel that leash in, whereas the WWE they have a code of conduct. Your take on this whole thing?
Tony Khan is doing what every major Hollywood studio has been doing for the last 10 years. And as someone who frequently talks about genre topics, superhero movies, science fiction movies, fantasy movies, all that, we've seen what happens when you cater towards a minority. There was a time in this country where you would put out a TV show and a movie and it'd be, I just want everyone to watch it. Now it's very directed and pointed. For instance, yes, very much tribalism. For instance, I've been torturing myself watching Starfleet Academy. And I did say, I'm sorry, I have to correctly pronounce it. Starfleet Leering Center. It's the Starfleet Leering Center.
Hold on.
For those who don't get the joke, Holly Hunter is constantly barefoot. Someone has a foot fetish since her feet are always on camera. And Leering Center refers to the Somali Learning Center in Minnesota.
Right.
But it's a perfect example of catering to such a small minority as opposed to what Star Trek used to do. And I speak this because I'm a Star Trek guy. My channel is basically mainly Star Trek now. So it's like it appealed to everybody. But now they're like chasing this minority for some reason that they think will expand their base. But when you chase a minority that is so particular that it alienates the other ones, you lose everybody. That's what this is doing. Don't bring politics in. You don't talk about politics or religion at the Thanksgiving table. Don't do it on your shows. Just make
it a bar
for everybody. Well, that's unless you want to get a fight. That's fine. No, if it's a complete liberal bar, talk liberal stuff. If it's a complete conservative bar, talk conservative stuff. But if it's an open thing, don't do it. This should be open for everyone. And when you do alienate people, like Matt's walking away. That's what you don't want. You don't want someone walking away.
Okay. Ego. AEW, since the departure of Cody Rhodes and CM Punk, have experienced a massive viewership drop. At least 45% over the year over year. In the last 3 years. So losing about half of their audience, willing to indulge this, and is this in your opinion, is this a smart business move, or should Tony Khan be there? You go. Thank you, Charlie.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So your take on this, Mr. Left Eye Ego?
I think it's too late for Tony Khan to really do anything at this point. That's the problem. I mean, for me, I would have said that my rule would have been this. I don't care what you say on a podcast. And if after the match, if you want to sell those kinds of shirts at your table after the match is over, I have no problem with that. I will defend whatever you say in a podcast because outside of this squared circle, you are a person. But once you come into the squared circle, you are the character that's presented to the public by this company. And that doesn't necessarily cross over unless someone's retiring, unless you're trying to give a shout out to someone that's in a competing company. I'm okay with those too. But like, hey, once you get in here, like you are being the character that should be here. Like, and they shouldn't overlap. Afterwards, after it's over, you can go back to being whoever you want to be. But while you're here, you're supposed to be what the fans paid to see. And it's not that guy.
Okay. So I think we can all agree. Fans, you have paid your money. You can chant whatever you want. Do not care. For the talent, outside of anything outside of the company, like your own personal social media. Say what you want. I don't care. I will defend your right to say it,
Mhm.
as I think everyone here would as well. But when it comes to delivering a product that you want to sell to mass people, the more customers, the more money, the more revenue, it's more money in your pocket. Maybe dial it down a notch. I think that's a fair take.
Mhm. That's fair.
All right. So that gets out of that.
And JV, one little final note:
Go
the
for it.
Cons are dealing with this from the NFL side too with the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
So,
there's some
yeah.
stuff with that too. Yes.
Mm.
Now, we're going to deviate from that and go to the actual stuff that we've been talking about here. And that is we got a TV wrap up, recapping what happened in TV last couple days as we are moving toward the Elimination Chamber. Now, last week on SmackDown, we already had 2 Elimination Chamber matches where it was Tiffany Stratton versus Lash Legend versus Chelsea Green. No surprise in her first match back on TV, Tiffany Stratton won that match. Match was iffy at best, but she's going to Chicago to be part of the Elimination Chamber. We also had Randy Orton going over against Solo Sikoa and
Holy cow.
Aleister Black.
Yeah, that was nice.
Decent match. Now, we also, on that same show, which we will address in just a bit, Drew McIntyre gave a response to the promo cut by Roman Reigns and CM Punk last Monday, which we will get to that very soon. We've got an entire segment dedicated to just that. It's going to be good. Now, this coming Friday, we have another women's and another men's Elimination Chamber qualified match. We have Alexa Bliss versus Julia versus Zelina. And I think whoever goes over in this match is winning the Elimination Chamber. It is Sami Zayn versus Cody Rhodes versus Jacob Fatu. That is a match right there. So, Ego, your thoughts on the women's match? Who goes over in this match?
Ooh. All right. Say those ones again just to make sure I make sure.
Better than this. Who is definitely not going over? That would be so the 3 in the match are Zelina, Julia, and Alexa Bliss.
Zelina ain't going. Ain't fucking going. I probably got Alexa Bliss on this one.
Okay. Brad, thoughts?
I want to see Alexa Bliss as much as possible because I'm a dirty old man. But it's probably going to be Julia.
I would agree with that. Matt, your thoughts on who goes over in that match?
I concur about wanting to see Alexa Bliss as much as any other sane heterosexual man would want. But this is a tough one. I got a funny feeling it's going to be Julia.
I think it might be as well because I think you can play the Charlotte Alexa drama.
I think the Charlotte Alexa drama, the split happens at WrestleMania.
I think it may happen
before.
Sooner it's possible.
That's what I was thinking.
It could set up a WrestleMania match.
It could. Now, on the men's side, Cody, Jacob, Sammy. I know. I know.
This is Elimination Chamber? Qualifying elimination?
This is to qualify to go to the chamber. Matt.
Sammy wins.
No.
Because I think Cody and Jacob wind up at Hell in a Cell at WrestleMania.
I got that too. I got Sammy winning from interference. I
Really?
like what Matt said.
Wow.
That's what I got.
I think
the
there's
feud-
more money to be had in that Hell in a Cell with Jacob and
Yes.
Cody going all out because they've gotten the feud has gotten bitter. You know what I mean? And Hell in a Cell is for ending feuds
Well-
like this and the biggest stage in the world.
Brad, thoughts?
The only thing I was thinking, because I was watching the highlights of SmackDown, is that Drew is getting heat from both Cody and Jacob. So I thought they were maybe setting up a triple threat at some point. That's my problem for the Elimination Chamber. What if they just fought him at the Elimination Chamber?
Okay.
But they can't. So that would mean Sammy would win. Oh,
So
yeah.
okay. Sammy is not going over.
no, we
In this
know.
match.
But
Not going over this match. I say Jacob because it's easier for Cody to get to a Mania match than it is for Jacob. Jacob would need the chamber to get there.
I see it. I mean, I don't agree with it, but I see it.
And now for
Well-
Raw. Okay, go on.
no, oh no, keep going because with that, if we're going Jacob, I just want to hear where we think who would actually what we could be seeing going forward. Because I think if it opens up for Matt's idea of a Hell in a Cell with Cody and Jacob at WrestleMania,
I don't think that's going to be another match.
you think it's gonna be Cody?
I think it's good. I think Jacob goes over in this match.
Okay.
Jacob goes to the chamber.
Mhm.
I have said this. My early pick to win the chamber is Jacob.
Okay.
Oh.
So whoever wins
Okay.
this match is going to win the chamber because again, Cody doesn't. You can play a storyline much like Rhea did last year, where she didn't win anything and got herself into a title match.
I was just thinking that Cody could do it.
So
That's
Jacob,
Yeah, triple
needs,
threat.
Jacob needs
That
a
makes sense.
mechanism. Jacob needs a mechanism to get there.
That
Cody
makes sense.
But he can call a shot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cody
All
doesn't
right.
need it. Jacob needs it. I see your plan.
Okay.
So now we go. Then we went to Raw, where we had two chamber matches, the two singles matches, which I believe chamber is going to be like it's been for the last 2 years, where it's been a 4-match card, but 2 of the matches are the big chamber matches. We had CM Punk versus Finn the Balor, which is what I said was going to happen.
Mhm.
This is to fill this time frame for Punk to do something. It's in Chicago. Finn's not going to win. He's going to turn back into Pin Balor. But it's going to play off another story drama in the Judgment Day.
Mhm.
Now we have another match that got added, which in the opening segment, it was cute. It's a little cringy, a little bit. AJ Lee is fine. I don't think her promo style kind of fits in 2026 as well as it did in 2012. I'm just saying. But we got Becky versus AJ Lee for the Women's Intercontinental Championship at Elimination Chamber as well. Again, in Chicago, which I think for a cheap pop, and this is what they're going to play on, I would not be surprised if AJ Lee wins the Women's IC title,
Really?
which, again, Mania is like 6 weeks after that. She holds it for 6 weeks because AJ's part-time. Because she has
Yeah,
a
that's
lot
true.
of other stuff going. Get enough to build a third person to jump in here. Have a triple threat because Paul Levesque loves his triple threats.
He loves a three-way.
Becky, AJ Lee, and that leaves room to transition the title to someone else. Who would AJ Lee love to put over more than anyone else on the roster?
Lyra.
No.
Oh, thank God.
CM Punk.
Oh,
What?
Jesus.
CM Punk.
Not well. She
Maxine?
Well, she gets over on Punk every night. So
Punk becomes the first male winner of the women's intercontinental.
Hey, don't assign gender. He has not said Punk has not stated his
So-
or her gender yet.
someone who has been kind of their Punk and AJ's kind of adopted daughter, kind of. It's Roxanne.
Is that Roxanne? Oh yeah, Roxanne.
Oh.
Yeah, Roxanne Perez.
Oh, that's going to be interesting from a
Uh,
Judgment Day perspective.
Mm-hmm.
I like
Interesting
that.
indeed.
Okay.
Well, there's
So
a
now-
breakup coming out of the Judgment Day at some point.
Oh, that is coming. So we had 2 qualifying matches on Raw. Some of these matches are so predictable, it's annoying. Like the Cody, Sammy, and Jacob match, those are what the qualifying matches should be. We had Lyra Valkyria versus Rhea Ripley versus Ivy Nile. This match was sloppy. This match sucked.
Did Rhea win? I didn't watch.
Rhea won. Shocking. I know.
Holy crap! No way.
I know. So weird.
Kill
But-
surprise.
But the match was very sloppy. It was sloppily paced, and the botches and the missteps were from Rhea. Rhea was out of sorts in this match.
Was she sick
Rhea-
or something?
I think it's an off night. These off nights happen,
Mhm.
but she was in the wrong spot twice. So
Could have been timing
so-
issues.
which
You know,
so at one spot in particular, Rhea was in the wrong spot, and it just made Ivy Nile look like a dumbass, which really doesn't help Ivy at all, because Ivy doesn't get a lot of TV time.
She's not.
So the few moments she gets, she needs to shine, and this did not help her, which I thought, with the exception of that spot, Ivy performed well for what she had in there. That's just me. And then we had Austin Theory versus Penta versus LA Knight. LA Knight went over. I was kind of shocked at that one. So we have wow. That is wow. This
It's there. We'll put it up. But yeah,
actually, I have a new toy as well.
boo this man. I love that. Thank you. That's got to be used more often. Thank you. I love that. There we
It
go.
will mostly on your taste. I'm just saying. So, next week we have 2 more qualifying matches. For the ladies, Bailey versus Asuka versus low-key legend Natty. And on the men's side, Javon Evans, Gunther, and Dirty Dom. Matt, who goes over in the men's match?
so you said Gunther, Dirty Dom, and
Javon Evans.
not Javon. You know, so this one, and this is for the title
Nope. This is
Elimination
for
Chamber.
this is
well,
to
we already have-
qualify.
No,
This
but
is
it's for
to
the
qualify.
undisputed, like qualifies for undisputed. The winner of this goes to elimination and qualify, and then that's going to be undisputed.
Correct.
Currently, Drew. So that's be someone you could see winning that.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, you need people who can actually do these matches. You know, I'm going to say Dom.
You're gonna say Dom. Okay.
I know he can do these type of matches. You know, I'm sure Gunther could too, but Gunther, you have to believe
Gunther-
he's going to win the Elimination Chamber, and we know
Spoil-
he-
Spoiler alert: Gunther is not making it to the chamber. Okay. Reason why? Because if he's not going to win the chamber, which no one from Raw is winning now the chamber, I'm going to tell you that right now. Because the Undisputed is a SmackDown title. Someone from SmackDown is going to win this match, but they want to give you the illusion. if Gunther's in that match and you know he's not going to win, he has to be eliminated, which means he has to take a pinfall. That's not happening.
Yeah.
So, Ego, your thoughts on who goes over for the men's match?
Based on what you're telling me, that it has to technically be a SmackDown person.
And
Based
this is
on
a
elimination.
Raw match. And this is a Raw match. So no one so whoever goes over in this match, they're going to the chamber, but they're not going to win.
I'll be on the outside in and say Javon Evans. I'll give someone at least a chance to, make it exciting, even if they're not going to win, even if they are going to be in the chamber. Dom's got enough going on with the Judgment's Day, and Gunther is basically doing side quests with major heat. Like anyone he takes on is going to be major heat by itself. So by that process, I'll give it to Javon Evans.
Okay. Brad, are you there? Not yet. Okay. Javon goes over.
Nice.
Because this is just my pick on this. Because what is Javon going to bring to the elimination chamber? Excitement.
Excitement. Yep.
I mean,
Based
based on what he did Monday night, which I think we should already put that as a what the fuck moment for 2026. So Ego, write that down as Bravo Americano went for a cross body off the top rope. Javon Evans hit an OG cutter, caught him midair, and hit it perfectly. That was ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And I'm just looking over here real quick. We're at 9 likes, folks. We're at 9. We are 1 like away from a double-digit show. So if you are still out there looking, which I see you out there, just hit that like button. It costs you nothing. It's absolutely free. It helps the channel out. And also, while you're doing that, look down below. Check out all of our subscriptions, our social media, if you don't mind, folks.
I'd say you better subscribe or we'll bash in some skulls, right?
So, Brad, who goes over in the men's elimination chamber qualifying match? Javon, Gunther, or Dirty Dom?
Gunther.
Gunther's not going over.
Okay.
Gunther's not going to make it to the chamber. Nope. Not going to happen.
Oh, he doesn't need to. He's got his own stroke. So, okay.
Also, and
That's right.
also-
That's right.
And as I explained, if he's not going to win it, he has to take a pin,
Yeah.
which is not going to happen.
Okay. You know what? Maybe Javon, just for novelty reasons, because he's new.
Right?
Give him a chance to
And-
shine.
And
Dom doesn't need it. Dom's got his own thing.
and with Javon's style in the chamber,
Mm.
gonna
Oh,
be
Jesus. Off the top of the cells? Holy crap.
Yeah, oh boy.
Dude better be
Awesome.
careful. He is skinny
Right.
as hell.
That's why. I
Oh,
didn't
my
think
God.
he's built up enough for it yet physically.
We'll see. We will see.
Dude's got to be
And-
careful.
And then
He really
for
does.
the ladies, Bailey, Asuka, and Natty, I say Asuka by
Yep.
default because Bailey's not going there.
No
Natty,
one cares about
Stop.
Natty. Natty's basically
No one cares.
Natty basically does training and just helps people for storyline, like she's doing with Maxine.
right?
It's just, she's basically taken like TJ's role. She's kind of producer in a way almost, but she's just there to help talent at this point.
Matt, you were saying?
Well, you have to believe the person who would win this match is someone that WWE would book against one of the
Correct.
champions of WrestleMania.
Correct.
No for Natty, for sure.
Right.
Asuka or Bailey, you could see that. I mean, not with current storylines, but you could see that they're, you know what I mean?
Viable price.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
So, and then the question is, you want to have someone who's an expert in these matches, and Asuka's an expert in the style of match. So,
That's
Right.
true.
Yeah.
True.
Now I did the video earlier today, trying to pick the last two spots. I mean, I could see on the men's side someone from Raw. I could see Bronson Reed being in there. On the men's side, also from SmackDown, who I think should be in the match is Ilya.
Oh,
Sure. Yeah.
I think he would be great in that match. On the ladies' side, you could Raquel or Roxy, do one of the two. I would not be surprised because they've done it now for two previous chamber matches where prior to a call-up, a lady from NXT was in the chamber match. They did it last year with Roxy, the year before with Tiffany. I would not be surprised if Sol Ruka finds her way into the chamber match.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I'm okay with
I
that.
just wish Soluka find her way in the chamber there is.
Oh man, you. And plus, it would also play into
all the dirty old men here don't have kids. Just point that out. So.
I know. Well, right.
That's okay. It's a masculine child. I hope so.
It is a masculine child.
No, you're having a very manly child. Masculine.
So, and then plus this would
Get him trained up.
this would also
Need him ready for next year. For
this would all,
People's sperm have the biggest bicep any sperm ever had.
okay, cats. Let's get together here. So, and this would all also play into the drama between her and Zarya down in NXT. Zarya's upset that Sol gets handed all these opportunities, yada 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 yada. Now, I mentioned that we would come back and talk about this one thing. As also last Friday, as we talked last Monday, as we addressed last week, the promo segment between Roman Reigns and CM Punk. Easily one of the best promos Roman Reigns has ever done. I mean, you are in a mic battle with CM Punk. Your game is going to be raised. And Roman Reigns, as the Rumble winner, made his choice. He is challenging for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. Now, prior to last week's show starting, Matt and I were talking to behind the scenes, and Matt said, okay, so Punk and Roman are going to main event night one. And I said, absolutely not. Punk and Roman is the night two main event. And Matt said, well, it shouldn't be because the title that Drew holds is the more important title. So I'm going to make
correct.
So I'm going to make my case. Matt's going to make his case, and then we'll let E go respond, and then Brad now respond. Now, this is why the World Heavyweight Championship is going to main event WrestleMania Night 2. This will close out the show. Now, I'm going to concede because in his promo, Drew McIntyre said, this is the belt of Bruno Sammartino, of Hulk Hogan, of Bret Hart, of Shawn Michaels, of Stone Cold, The Rock, which is what Matt has alluded to, also with the WCW and the ECW. That is historically correct. Absolutely correct. As the World Heavyweight Championship, as we know it, the WWE's version of Big Gold, came into existence in 2023. Roman Reigns even referred to that title as the loser's bracket title. So, is the WWE Undisputed Championship the top title in the company? Yes, it is. But in 2026, is it the most important title? No, it's not. Both of these things can be true at the same time because the fact, and I said this a few weeks ago, the fact that the World Heavyweight Championship is not elevated is because Roman Reigns is not involved. Roman Reigns is the biggest star in professional wrestling, period, end of sentence. Roman Reigns is now involved. Roman Reigns is involved. Everything now feels more important with Roman Reigns involved. Also, in the current landscape, the biggest match that the WWE can put together is CM Punk and Roman Reigns. This will sell tickets. And that is what is needed for WrestleMania. The fact that we're talking about Drew McIntyre having to have a triple threat, because McIntyre and Cody, that's now the 6th time. We have seen this movie now before. Punk and Roman is enough to sell tickets by themselves. They don't need anything extra. And because it's for a title, the World Heavyweight Championship is the most important title in the company right now, because it is the biggest match. It is the one that's going to sell the most tickets. That is my case as to why the World Heavyweight Championship match is the WrestleMania headliner and the main event of night 2. Matt, present your case.
I understand all that logic. And you have to weigh in a couple of things in my view. Okay, that belt that Drew currently has, I want to say Cody, sorry about that. That Drew currently has, as he said, has the legacy of WWE, WF, ECW, WCW, and several other federations that have been bought out over the years. When you're watching that with your kids and your dad and your grandpa, these family events at WrestleMania, your dad can say, I watched Hulk Hogan defend that title at WrestleMania 2. Or I watched, Ric Flair defend the WCW title at Starrcade and so and so. And the weight of that is in that undisputed belt. I've said several times for the past probably year and a half, they need to merge these belts back and split them again so either one could be either one, for either day. But going into WrestleMania, your premier elite event, and taking your legacy title that has all that blood, sweat, and tears in it, and making it the junior thing on day one, it doesn't feel like wrestling when you do that. The storyline is about getting the biggest belt, not the afterthought loser's belt, as Roman Reigns sort of paraphrase put it. It doesn't matter who has that title because it's not the biggest belt.
Okay. Ego. Your thoughts.
I love the undisputed belt. It looks amazing. Every time I look up which belt that I'd want to buy, it's that one. However,
well,
it doesn't good.
You also like bright neon colors too, so
it's it's shiny. It's very shiny. I like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So I like those characteristics about it.
Did he just say he likes a shiny?
He likes a shiny.
And anyway,
Dad, stop it.
Too easy for y'all. Yeah, I like the aesthetic of it, and I understand the history behind it as well. With the general black and gold, it doesn't really get me. Not even when Jey Uso wore it. It's like I really wish he had the other belt. It looks cooler, and it's
Move this man.
Nice.
When Jey Uso had it.
Nice.
I said not even when he had it.
You had to,
to
mention.
But anyway, I understand that because it's CM Punk and it's Roman Reigns and there's a championship on the line, that's reason to give black and gold the reason it's going to be night 2. It's the biggest names and there's a belt up for grabs. It's got heavyweight championship in it, so it would have to headline based on who's going to be wrestling whom and how big their stars are. So I'd have to give the edge to black and gold for who's going to headline WrestleMania night 2.
All right. Brad, your thoughts?
As someone who argues for a living, I'm going to point out that both, and this is me being judged because I'm saying Joker and Matt being opposite sides of the argument. I think you both made very good points. My point is this, and with complete respect to Matt, I think Matt's opinion and appreciation for wrestling is not what current fans have. I do not think there's as much respect for the belts that Matt has. And I totally get your perspective, dude, because like I've been a fan, but not like you. Like I was watching in the 80s, but not like you. So you understand the history and everything. That's not what the WWE universe is today. The WWE universe is storylines. And the biggest storyline is going to be Punk and Roman. It's been building, and it is a great storyline. The bottom line, here's the guess what? What if Punk didn't have the belt? What if Roman didn't have the belt? You could legitimately still say that could be the biggest match because it is the culmination of 2 years of buildup. This is
10.
literally
10.
10. This is literally, hi, here's Iron Man. And Nick Fury comes at the end. Oh, let me tell you about the Avengers Initiative. And then we freaking have Endgame. This is the buildup of that storyline that's been in the background. That is what is driving this. So literally the belt is secondary because Roman's not winning the belt. Roman's not winning the belt. First off, Punk, that the Universal Championship should be on Raw because that's the primary show.
I've said
That's very
this.
true.
We all
true.
agree.
That's very true.
Oh, yeah.
It should.
Just to further in your point there, Brad, almost every year the Undertaker wrestled at WrestleMania, his match was the number one draw, even if it wasn't part of that. There are things where I'll draw those titles. I'm not disputing that.
Yeah.
You know, it's
And Matt, I'm not disagreeing with you when it comes to the strength of the belt. Like legitimately, the Universal title is the legacy title, but people don't look at that way. That's kind of sad. It's kind of sad.
Right.
It's like, dude, this is it's sad because it's literally an afterthought. You kind of have to remember, holy shit, Drew McIntyre is a champion.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is and this goes back to what I said. Both things are true.
Mm-hmm.
The top title is the WWE Undisputed Championship. I'm not disputing that.
just
But
in Drew's
But
state.
for hold on a minute. But for 2026, the most important title, the one that's going to sell tickets, is the World Heavyweight.
It's not even the title. It's the men.
No one's disagreeing with you, man. We're just saying, like, in this
No,
the way
I
it's been
know.
set up now, it's just like everyone's gonna be like, okay, well, black and gold's gonna have to be the main thing this time. I don't know if that changes if the title changes hands, but I don't know who.
You guys, and you know, like, go ahead.
I mean, last year, the Universal title was the main event. The year before, Universal title, main event. I mean, undisputed.
Who was it? Who was it?
Undisputed. Roman or Cody.
They weren't following the belt. They were following the man.
Right. They were
Yeah.
No, I agree. I'm not arguing all that. Although you say something, Brad, maybe I have a thought here. We followed Cody's story, completing his story. Drew has had an incredible story to get to where he is that people overlook.
Oh, I agree. I think Drew's a great wrestler.
I agree.
I think he's underappreciated.
Yeah.
Yes.
Agreed.
But
Agreed.
again, like I said, like when I look at this stuff, I'm a storyline guy. Just look behind me. Role playing games. Entirely. I'm all about the story. I respect the history, but the story is, in my mind, what is driving it. And I think more today than before, it truly is storylines because more than ever, wrestling is soap operas for dudes.
Right. That was a fun night. And these are the things that we talk about. Just wrestling nerd stuff. This is part of the fun. And we're going to move into our staple of the show.
Always keep a smile on your face.
And that is the Wednesday Night is Overbooked Top 5, where we take a wrestling topic and we give our 5 best takes. Our number 5 take gets 1 point. Our number 1 take gets 5 points. And at the end, Bradley Burnett changes his name to Price Waterhouse and gives us a definitive scientific answer to this topic. As we were talking about titles, someone who has won titles, not just in WWE, but in other promotions around the world, as simply she is. We are having our top 5 moments of the genius of the sky, Iyo Sky. Now, for this show, for this top 5, I have included, as Iyo has wrestled under other names throughout the years, Iyo Shirai, Hito Kiri, and other names as well from other promotions in Japan, in Mexico. So if you wanted to include something other than the name Iyo Sky, that is on the table. So we're going to begin with our number 5 pick. Ego, your number 5 Iyo Sky moment.
Io Shirai versus Candice LeRae, NXT Takeover 2019. Great moment because this was this was right after her heel turn, and she went against Candice LeRae. And the thing that got me first was her intro music is fire. Under that one, that's an awesome intro. Damn, yes, that is hot. The second thing was they were going through like her nicknames. Now they were calling her the Joshi Judas. I was like, that is awesome. That is a preview to me of what she would look like if she does her heel turn, which should be to me inevitable at some point to break up the things she's got with what's her name now?
Rhea.
There we go. Yes. So I got all these different names in my head. My bad. But yeah, that was awesome because it gave me a preview as to what she'd look like as a heel. Like she's got a much more devastating move set. Even the moves that she does the same typically look like they have a higher damage level. So I'm going with that number 5 just because it's a preview of what's to come when she does her heel turn.
Okay. So NXT Takeover is your number 5.
Yes.
Okay. Brad, your number 5.
As NXT 2019. Okay. Just so you know, all I'm doing is WWE because that's all I know her from. And again, I had to do my research because I am not the Joshi that Joker is. Appreciate the matches I've seen and her skills and ability. But I'm going to go with 2018 Mae Young Classic.
Nice one.
Which is the first WWE appearance of the Over the Moonsault.
Yes. Excellent. And I believe she came in second.
Yep.
She lost to Tony Storm. Matt, you're number 5.
Number 5 is an example of the Josie Judas. At Money in the Bank 2023, she handcuffs, I think it was Naomi and Bailey, together in the ladder.
Lynch and Bailey. Lynch and Bailey.
It was Lynch and Bailey. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Handcuffs them under the ladder, then climbed right over Bailey. And you could hear, I think it was Wade Barrett shouting, "What a betrayal!" And she climbs there and grabs that belt and wins Money in the Bank. You know?
Yep. Great match.
Yeah.
For me, my number 5. It's not a match. It's a moment within a match. We're going to go to the 2024 Money in the Bank match. They got the tall ladder in the ring. Iyo and Zoe Stark.
Oh God!
Man.
They're grabbing on the briefcase. It's moving around a little bit. Zoe tries to suplex Iyo over the top. Iyo gets control. There's a ladder bridge down here.
Oh God!
And beautiful. And Iyo performs a Michinoku driver, perfectly done, with Zoe Stark onto the ladder bridge and sells the shit out of it.
I'm feeling it now. Damn it.
Zoe Stark stole my heart in that match. She was so awesome in that match.
That match, that spot is just like that. That was the spot of the entire show. The entire show.
I wish those two would have some sort of like match together. They would put on such a show.
So that is 2024 Money in the Bank with Zoe Stark. Ego, you're number 4.
Number 4, I'm going to go with Iyo Shirai versus Candice LeRae, Halloween Havoc 2020. When they did tables, ladders, and scares. Oh my, yes. That was a pretty good one. I mean, there was intrigue, there was drama, there was interference there. There was the neck breaker into a double table. There was her tossing Candice LeRae off of the ladder at the last moment to reclaim the title. It was great. The only thing that kind of sucked about it was it was the pandemic year. So, they tried to do the battle cages, which gave it a good aesthetic, but it's like the screens kind of took away from it. But I mean, at the live event, it would have been amazing. So, but that's why I've only got number 4.
So that's 2018 Halloween Havoc. That what you
2020.
said? 2020. 2020, Halloween Havoc. All right, Brad, you're number 4.
I'm going back to War Games 2022. One specific thing. The trash can.
The trash can.
That was the first time she did the trash can dive. Now, it's
Trash
getting
salt.
a little tired only
Little trophy.
because
A
little trophy because it's not being varied enough.
Correct.
But it's kind of like a classic, like she needs to actually up it because she's not a comedic performer. Kofi being kicked out of the Royal Rumble and not hitting the feet, that's a comedy trope. If she wants to make it a trope, she has to make it different each time. But that was the first time you saw it, and it was like, holy shit balls.
Now, did you like her doing a swanton in the trash can this past War Games?
That's what I mean. You like change it a little bit. You got to change it a little bit.
Okay.
Because before it was just like still the same trash cans. It's like you expect it, but if you can make it a little different, it makes it a little more special every time. But the problem is, there's how many things can you do with a freaking trash can?
I know. Matt, you're number 4.
Number 4, SummerSlam 2023. She cashed in Money in the Bank and she won the Women's World Championship from Bianca Belair. And they do need to rename the women's titles to match the men's titles. It drives me crazy.
So that was the match was Bianca, Charlotte, and Asuka in a triple threat for the Women's Undisputed Championship. Bianca is selling a leg, comes in, pins Asuka, and then immediately Iyo cashes in.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, yes. So the Women's Undisputed Championship. My number 4 was not too long ago, October 26th, 2025. It's about 2 weeks after Crown Jewel in Australia. The week after that, WWE did some live shows in the land of the rising suns. I said suns. Iyo stayed another week after that for Marigold Grand Destiny, where she is in the main event against Mayu Iwatani in a 26-minute main event match. This was not a spam fest of signature moves. This was a absolute great example of Joshi style wrestling. Iyo gets the win. This is the second time she has done this for Marigold, which was founded by one of the founders of Stardom, who discovered Iyo Sky. So she gets her full WWE entrance music. She's introduced as Iyo Sky, and like Iyo said, in this match, she's wrestling as the heel in the match.
Yeah.
So her skill set is sharper. There feels there's a lot more impact to it. If any of you ever get a chance to watch Mayu Iwatani versus Iyo Sky at Marigold, it is an absolute joy to watch. That is my number 4. All right, Ego, you're number 3.
Number 3, it is a match that will never happen in WWE and probably never ever happen on television, but is available to watch. Io Shirai versus Pentagon Jr. in Lucha Underground.
That is not Io Shirai. That is Hito Kiri. That was her name.
Damn, my bad. Okay, Hito Kiri. There is a particular spot where
Who's this man?
I can't keep up with the name changes, man. Okay, I'll just say Iyo then. Iyo. So at this point, there's a
Just say the Lucha match.
Fine. There's a point during the Lucha match where she puts Pentagon through a row of chairs.
Throws him.
And the thing is, and for someone that doesn't like when they have women that are assassin singing on dudes that are 230 pounds with the Hurricanranas and stuff like that, and like holds, it made me suspend my disbelief that she threw this game through like 7 or 8 sets of chairs. It was the most disbelieving thing that I like. Oh, you can see that. cool. So it actually goes toe to toe. They're going back and forth. The count was amazing as well. It was great. You find out Lucha Underground, fantastic. That's number.
Okay. Brad?
Is it just me or is Ego's mic messed up a little bit?
Ego, say something now.
Test 1 2 3. Is it cutting in and out?
Better
What's
now.
happening?
Okay, you were fine. I think Matt was a hot.
Okay.
Edit.
There's a sound going on in the hospital right now.
Okay.
All right.
So
I didn't know if it was Ego's voice or whatever.
yeah. So Lucha,
all right.
number 3. Was
Lucha number 3. I'm going with NXT In Your House 2020 Triple Threat.
Yes.
And I believe this is the first time that she won the NXT Women's title.
The only time.
Right. But she had a long reign, almost a year, and it was
right.
It was her and Rhea and
Charlotte.
I'm sorry, Charlotte, Rhea, and her. And I really kind of think, it's like when you look at that, I kind of thought, like, do you really think she's going to win? I mean, it's kind of surprising if you really think about it. It's like, I did not, if I was watching it then, I'm like, holy crap, Iyo won? You got Charlotte and Rhea.
Amazing match. Amazing match. All right, Matt, you're number 3.
Yeah, Pentagon Jr. is a real great guy. He knows how to do the matches with women and intergender really well. So my number 3 is Money in the Bank 2024, right? Iyo Sky, Michinoku driver, Powell drivers. The goal is whatever driver she technically was trying to do, the goal is to keep Zoe Stark's head from hitting the metal. And she did that really well. That was an incredible spot for those two women to pull off. I'm sure Zoe Stark's back and Iyo Sky's bottom had to be bruised to hell after that. You know,
Probably.
I fell in love with Zoe Stark in that match. Her and Iyo were great in it. And they were the strong points of that match.
Gotcha. All right, my number 3 is Money in the Bank 2023. For the simple fact that she is in this as a heel, and she's the most over person in the entire match. The fans are chanting Iyo, 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 Iyo. She does her moonsault off of a ladder, clears out the entire ring, and the very creative way to get to the end, where, like Matt said, Becky Lynch had introduced handcuffs into, or someone had introduced handcuffs into the match, and Iyo handcuffs Bayley and Becky Lynch through the ladder so they can't climb past a certain point. Iyo climbs right over Bayley to grab the money in the bank briefcase. Massive pop, and I had fallen in love with this character because of what I'm going to talk about later. But this is really when I started really taking notice of Iyo Sky. Okay, Ego, you're number 2, sir.
All right. So for me, for number 2, I've got Money in the Bank 2024. Just that spot with Zoe Stark, man. Like, it's one thing to do something that's high degree of difficulty, but the sell is what sold it. I was like, someone cut the feed. There's been a fatality live. This is just just subjecting us to cruel and unusual punishment. It was such a fantastic spot for the women's match, trying to build up and be like more dynamic, go for bigger moves, for higher degree risk, but still maintaining to do it safely, which is a very hard thing you find out as you get older, is how do you do all this stuff safely, let alone on a suspended ladder. Like, the fact they would make it look great, looking devastating, and still be safe is a testament to how well this was pulled off. And I wouldn't expect anyone else but from Iyo. And credit to Zoe Stark for agreeing to take that kind of bump. That was amazing.
All right, Brad, you're number 2.
My number 2 may earn some heat. WrestleMania 40.
No.
Okay, because I didn't pick it number 1. That's the only reason why I say it.
That's a great match.
It's an amazing match. Probably one of the best women's matches I've ever watched. Her and Bailey. I mean, wow. I could have put it higher, but she didn't win.
Right.
That's the only reason.
Right. And
But,
that
just such a the way they, but it's the mechanics of the match, how it played out. This is where it's like you tell the story through the match.
right.
That's it's not just like spots are great, but there's the tiny points,
Right.
small little things.
Her
And I thought
transitions,
this
her holds, her
right,
everything.
right, just like a look. A camera captures a look because she knows when to look at the camera. That's when you got a great wrestler who goes, I know where I am, I know where I need to be, and I know how to convey this to the audience. And that was what that match was.
Yes. As I've said numerous times, the match right after that is the one that got all the attention because it was Avengers Endgame.
Mm-hmm.
But the better match was Bailey and Iyo.
Yeah.
All right, Matt, you're number 2.
So War Games 2019, and the only reason this spot is not number 1 is because of shoddy camera work. Iyo goes up to the top of the cage and does one of the most beautiful moonsaults you'll ever see from the top of a frigging War Games steel cage. That's what is that, like 20 feet in the air?
20 feet.
And lands, almost perfectly on top of do I even have the note who it was?
Right.
Bianca and Candice, I think. Those two.
Okay.
Yeah. And they did a great job catching it. Just a stupid camera guy. If he had just kept the camera off them to the last minute, it would have been my number 1. It would have been 10.
Yes, we know.
All right. My number 2, again, a match she lost. We're going Backlash 2023. Puerto Rico for the Raw Women's Championship against Bianca. Belair. What's up, Eric? How are you, sir? Make sure to hit that like, sir. Now, Iyo is a part of Damage Control, and she's been a tag team wrestler with her and Dakai. This is kind of like her first big singles match, and she tore the house down. And against Bianca, which Bianca was getting booed out of the building.
Yes.
The fans were not having Bianca. Iyo was getting all the babyface love, but she's the heel. And this is where at least for me, I'm like, I need to learn more about this little 5'2" Japanese chick, and to just develop this amazing performance of this amazing performer that is Iyo Sky. And folks, it's been at least 3 weeks. We did it, folks. We have something to celebrate. Someone loving, quiet, demure voice comes to
Petite, a little shy.
a little shy, has something to say to you folks, and we love her by this name. Brad, and do you by chance remember her name?
Meow meow mew mew Mjolnir meow meow Momo. I really come out of her shell. She's so respectful.
It could be named Mjolnir after that scene.
Momo, which means next week, guys, you get a special segment to kick off the show. Thank you so much. And if you still hit those likes even more, share it even more, get this out into the algorithm. Thank you so much, folks. So we are down to our number 1s. Ego, your number 1 Iyo Sky, Io Shirai, Hitokiri moment.
All right, just want to make sure I got this right. I think it was the triple threat Iyo versus Rhea versus Bianca Belair. WrestleMania 41.
Opening
Yeah,
match
41.
night 2.
Yeah, that moonsault to steel was amazing. Camera angle for me was great. seemingly came out of nowhere, stealing the win. That's primarily why I like triple threat matches, because it's always someone that has the potential to play spoiler. So it was a fantastic match. I absolutely loved it, and the steal sealed it for me. So we got that number one.
Okay, let me address this really quick. TKO and WWE is never letting Iyo go. Never. That's not happening. As Paul Levesque said, if you were to decimate my roster, if all I had was Iyo, I'd be good. Brad, your number one Iyo Sky moment.
SummerSlam 2023, Money in the Bank cash in.
The Money in the Bank cash in. Okay. Hey, I like it. I like it. Matt, your number one Iyo Sky moment.
Oh, WrestleMania 41. It's one of the 2 or 3 greatest women's matches of all time.
Okay. And for me as well, it is WrestleMania 41, the opening match of night 2, Bianca and Rhea. Not only was it the best match of all of the entire weekend, this was an important match. This was the first Joshi to win at WrestleMania. This was the first Japanese superstar to defend a title and to retain a title since Taku Michinoku over 20 years ago. So the significance of what Iyo did in that moment just puts it right over the top. And we actually mentioned those matches. Yes, excellent. So, Mr. Price Waterhouse, I think we have a clear number one, and your number one kind of squeaked into. We have a number 2 and a number 3. Is that correct?
Yeah, it was a little dicey there at the beginning, but number 3 is SummerSlam 2023 with 7 points. Number 2 is Money in the Bank 2024 with 8 points.
Zoe, poor Zoe Stark. Just
it's like bump hurt. And WrestleMania 41 at 15 points, clear number 1.
Got it. So next week, because we're gonna go with since we're going towards Elimination Chamber, top 5 moments of the Second City Saint. Top 5 CM Punk moments.
I'm glad you said that for Ego to understand.
Okay.
I was perplexed for a second. I was looking at him and
I gave you the damn doc. I gave you the doc to understand.
This poor boy.
He's just
You loved the doc. It was a great doc.
It was a great doc. My fault.
I give you the Paul Heyman one too. That's amazing too.
Appreciate it.
Move this man!
No, hold on. In all fairness, I mean, I'm converting people to good Star Trek. So this is a work in progress. We finally got him away from Jade Cargill. We are closer to getting him away from Gay Uso. So,
not necessarily. Okay.
Wow.
Hey, I'm watching Star Trek with a gay Klingon. Shut up.
That's going through it. I understand. You're going through some things.
Fair enough.
I'd rather watch
I have
JC
issues.
all the titles in one WrestleMania than watch Starfleet Academy. That's how bad it is.
All righty. And with that, Mr. Left Eye Ego, what do you have coming up, sir?
I will be with Crease MMA Crease for the Homies podcast tomorrow at 7 p.m. Once they give me the link, I'll go ahead and start promoting that forum. And Sunday, hopefully, we'll be doing Ordinary Games. We got to tour hospitals and stuff now. It's become a thing. So hopefully, again, I'm not in charge of any of this at this point when it comes to
You have
Shiro,
no control. You just
I never were.
I'm
You
just saying what was on the
never were.
itinerary, guys.
Dude,
I was.
I don't have kids. I know you're just there to hold her and give her rice chips. So shut up and do your job.
Bro, I had to make her brownies today before, so she wouldn't threaten me. So, like, again, I come home to madness every day.
That's love, unrequited, beautiful family.
So I'm told. I guess.
I'm sorry. I'm Team Shiro. Bad dude. Bad ego.
And
Keep Shiro in good shape. So give you a great WrestleMania and Rumble picks.
Matt, based on your Rumble picks, I would be quiet if
Hey, my picks aren't the I booked the Rumble I wanted to
Ego
see.
kicked
That's
your
what I'm
ass
saying.
this year.
Matt's just doing like DCL's worlds. That's all.
Right, exactly.
I'm not, like I said, the Rumble you want to see spectacular stuff, not what happened.
That's fair.
Okay. And Mr. Duke Devil 95, who's about to torture himself in about half an hour maybe?
No, I don't do I watch tomorrow when I get home from work so I can have subtitles and not drink because I can't drink at like 4:00 in the afternoon. That's not safe. Even though I want to when I'm watching the same. But I'll be watching Starfleet Academy tomorrow, episode 6. Congratulations, guys. This is the first time we're gonna have a live action sex scene in Star Trek. We've made it, kids. Otherwise, go watch my channel. We watch Star Trek Deep Space Nine every week. I review Starfleet Academy. You can also find me on Static 2020's Weekend Pregame on Thursday nights. I join Adam the Renaissance Nerd to bitch about Starfleet Academy on his channel at 6 p.m. and here every week. Also, I am currently 14 subscribers away from 500, so maybe just throw a couple my way.
Nice. Awesome. Very good, sir. Excellent. Actually, that deserves a. And the invading external Terminator, no longer the Baconator. What do you have coming up, sir?
Well, 2026 is the year of termination, so Roman show tomorrow. JV and I will be on there. We're going over topics in media and stuff. Then next week, obviously, we have Wednesday Night Overbooked. We'll talk about even more wrestling, and that's what I have planned so far.
All righty. And as for myself, as was mentioned, I will be on with Roman of the Empire with Matt and a host of pop culture aficionados talking about general topics within the world of pop culture, TV, movies, etc., and how it's just one big insane mess. I will also be dropping video shorts from this show over the weekend, so be sure to check those out. And then my regular content next week. And as I said, coming back right here for another week of Wednesday Nights Overbooked with announcing it already, top 5 CM Punk moments. But until then, I know it's just a few, maybe. It's kind of a broad topic. Could be fine.
Number 1's locked. Fuck it. Drop
I know,
it.
right? There we go. But until then, I would like to wish all of you a great rest of your week. Keep talking, keep smiling, keep having fun. Until next time, always take care.
Here we go.
Is like gravity. All it takes is a little push.
Ah!